Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
Nigeria has in the last 9 years lost a whopping $12.2 billion to gas flaring. This revelation was made by the chairman of the Coalition Against Gas Flaring, Cagaf, Honorable Benjamin Ogbalo, who in the following interview blames the continued flaring of associated gas on government's insincerity and lack of commitment to efficient gas utilization. So, Mr. Ben Ogbalo, you are chairman of the Coalition Against Gas Flaring in Nigeria. I want to simply ask you, this coalition that has been formed now, why is it interested right now in stopping gas flaring in the country?
Wants to see an end to gas flaring for a myriad of reasons. First and foremost, the gas that is being flared is actually a resource that can help to provide industries, infrastructure, better living for our citizenry. The gas that has been flared can give us 349.9 thousand gigawatt hour of electricity. Before you now move into the issue of the adverse consequences of gas flare to human beings who live in the Niger Delta. We hear of suits, we hear of cancer. So the implication of gas as it affects the human being is inestimable. You can't put a cost to it. From 2012 to date, the gas that have been flared is about 3.5 billion thousand cubic feet. That gas translates to $12.2 billion. Now, I'm sure we can do a lot with that kind of money.
Since 1969, that's over 50 years, the federal government of Nigeria has been trying to end gas flaring. It's been impossible. The dates keep moving, keep shifting the goalpost. Why do you think that it's so difficult for a country like Nigeria to end gas flaring, knowing the many benefits that we can derive from it?
It's actually policy somersault, poor governance, inconsistency, corruption, ineptitude. You can't just count. So the reason why gas flare is not being eliminated is also the same reason why this country is unable to harness its vast resources. Evidence provided by Nostra, who we know today is monitoring gas flare volumes vigorously, have shown that since 2018, when government increased the flare penalties from 30 cents per scuff to $2, that there's been huge discrepancy in the volume of gas flare reported by government and the one recorded by the gas flare tracker. By the way, the gas flare tracker is a satellite device which is used, to identify, measure, and collate gas that is flared. This tool is used in other across the world, and the margin of error is very minimal. So Nostra has insisted that the records of the gas flare tracker is the correct position, but the Nigerian government have underreported. Now, what it means is that the oil companies and the Nigerian governments are the one underreported because Nigerian government don't have an independent way of measuring flared gas. It is the records of the oil company transmitted to DPR and NNPC that the Nigerian government reports. Now, there is great variation between what the Nigerian government is reporting and what the Nostra gas flare tracker is reporting. the surprising thing is that from 2012 to 2017, when the penalties were very minimal, just 30 cents, the records of the tracker and Nigerian government tallied, virtually tallied. But as soon as the penalties were increased in 2018, suddenly there is huge discrepancy between the fled gas reported by the Nigerian government and the one recorded by the tracker. For example, in 2018, the Nigerian government recorded the gas fled reported by the Nigerian government 202 billion cubic feet of gas, while the tracker recorded 472 billion cubic feet of gas. So there's a huge gap of 190 BCF of gaps. I think that there is need to look at this discrepancy.
Finally, Mr. Balo, tell us what your coalition, apart from media exposure like this, what your coalition will do to ensure that gas flaring comes to an end by 2025.
Okay, the coalition have decided to engage key stakeholders, the Ministry of Finance, Nostra, NATI. By the way, NATI and Nostra are data gathering institutions. The DPRO, who ought to monitor what's being done in the oil fields, and National Assembly, who have oversight responsibility to ensure that our policies are kept and honored. So, for instance, in that regard, we intend to engage all the key stakeholders so that we can, for the first time, gather a critical mass to ensure that, first and foremost, we interrogate the gas flare data to ensure that we eliminate discrepancies, to deal with that matter frontally to ensure that the discrepancies are eliminated. Then also to work with all the key stakeholders, especially those in government, to ensure that the 2025 flare out date is met.
Inside the Niger Delta,